Well, hello, everybody. I'm Karen Wade, and I am really excited to have Karolina Svobodova, and I hope she can correct that mispronunciation, as I'm sure I have done.
Yeah.
She is a Czech nurse who is currently working in Saudi Arabia. She's had a very interesting experience working in the pandemic. And she also can speak to us a little bit about the adventure of being an international nurse, international travel nurse. So I just wanted to introduce her and have her tell her story. And so I thought we would talk about first, when and why, Karolina, you decided to study nursing. And what was your course of study in Czechoslovakia?
Oh, yeah. So I went for high school when I was 15 years old. I think the direction gave me my parents. They always tell me, like, you know, as a healthcare worker, you will always have steady job. So I said, okay, let's follow. So yeah, I went for high school and I just realized it's nursing. It's what I want to do. I really loved spend time in the hospital. So after that, I decided like continue as a nurse in nursing and earn the nursing degree in a college. So another 3 years I studied for bachelor, and then straight away I went for a master degree. And in Czech Republic, you will earn master degree and also the specialty. So my specialty was ICU, intensive care, and also anesthesia nurse. So it's like a combination of those two.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think it's completely different than the US. Education for like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us then what type of nursing you were involved in after you graduated and why you decided to leave your country to go to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, after I graduated, it's been always ICU. So I didn't work as on the ward, never. It was straight away ICU. It was medical ICU. And then I went to neuro ICU. It was most of the stroke and intracranial bleeding. And after that, I decided to go to Saudi Arabia. And it's been almost 2.5 years I'm in Saudi Arabia now already.
Well, what was the draw? Was there like an advertisement you saw? Was it like a lot more money? Was it, what was it?
It's a multiple reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like because I working as a nurse, and as a nurse you have the options to go abroad. So I was always the dream to go abroad and live and try to really accomplish. And I just choose the easiest way, maybe because the agency was in Prague when I was working. So I went there, and they also of course they will give you like more money without taxes and more vacation. That's like, so you see this package and you're, yes, why not? So, but after that, when you start working here, you just have to find the way how to survive here and how to really work here, because it's completely different. Yes. But yeah, it was the impulse was like just try to go and live abroad.
Have an adventure.
And and also I had the education, and they were happy with education I had. So it wasn't like very complicated to way, let's say in the US, it will be like a new studying and So in Saudi Arabia, they accept this, what I studied in Czech Republic. So
are there a lot of nurses from different countries there, or a lot of Czech nurses, or in terms of the international nurses that you work with, what countries are they from?
There are multiple. So we from Czech Republic, couple of us, then from US as well, from Canada, from Australia, and we are like a small group. Our Western group, it's like just a couple of us, but the most nations are like Indians, Malaysians, Filipino, Jordanians, also what I missed. Malaysian, Indians, yes. No, I mentioned that. So it's really, and Saudis.
Right.
They start to work now.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're really like multiple cultures.
So does everyone speak English? Is that the unifying language, or what language? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But it's English, but most of the time they speaking Arabic as well. But
okay.
Everything, documentation and everything, it's in English.
English. Okay. All right. Have you learned any Arabic since you've been there?
A little bit, just a few, because you're struggling so much here with all the cultural things, and even with English. So just like Arabic is just like I can say few words and that's it.
So we'll talk about the hospital life there, but I'm curious, just tell me a little bit about, what is when you're not working in the hospital, like where do you live? What do you have to wear? Just that whole thing, and how do you feel there? Do you feel respected? All of that. So
yeah, so we're living in a hospital accommodation in compounds, which is quite good. Nothing fancy, but it's fine. And we really like living like as a family, because we are working together, and then we're spending even outside of the hospital with the people, with the friends. So it's good. And now it's like really this country is starting open more. They really, even me, I don't need to wear abaya, the nation dress code for the female. So it's just, you need to be very like okay, you have to cover your shoulders and knees. So usually pants or t-shirt, it's fine. But of course for your safety, it's better to take abaya, because you don't want to, even though I have a blue eyes, blonde hair, I'm enough like for them to be so I don't want to be in any of trouble. So if I don't feel comfortable, I can take abaya. But if just going for grocery shopping, that's not really necessary right now. Even the headscarf, it calls tarha, it's not really for the girls who is not Muslim. They don't really need to wear this.
Oh,
headscarf.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. We always hear how strict the Saudi culture is, the limitations on women and so forth. Now, I've heard, have they started driving too? I'd heard that.
Yes, that's like 3 years back already. Yeah, the women can start driving. Yes. It's quite an experience to drive here. So I did my license as well, but it's really it's experience. They don't like to follow the rules on the road much. So it's it's an experience.
Very careful defensive driving.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so you feel safe there, and you don't feel threatened or anything like that?
Well, you have to get used to it for this, but of course when I came first time, it was difficult, because you don't know what's allowed, what is not allowed. But now it's more like chill, and I don't feel like anything to be scared now on the street.
Oh,
really good. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Good. That's great. And it's been 2.5 years, right? So
yes.
Okay. So how long did it take before you kind of started feeling like, okay, I know how to live here?
6 months for sure.
Okay.
6 months. And after 1 year, I was like comfortable, and even at work, you're comfortable after like 1 year, I think.
Okay.
It's really take time to be comfortable and to go to work and not be stressful. So
Yeah. Do they have, does the company you work with or does the hospital have a way of welcoming the foreign nurses and helping you settle in and adjust and all of that? Or was that something you had to figure out on your own?
well, yes, they do have, but usually you will figure out by your own. You will find your friends, and then everything will go smooth. But they do have some department even for like how to help with the process to settle down, and they do have so you can all you I got a list of numbers. You got the people, you will meet the people. They do have something like a social club, so if you have a days off, you can just go with them. They some trips
Okay.
for us organizing. So
Oh,
yeah, they doing great job, I think, with this stuff.
so I know during the pandemic, probably you've been staying home a lot, but before the pandemic
Yeah.
came, what did you do on your days off? How did you relax? You know, what kinds of things did you do
Yeah, we can,
in normal
like I
time?
said, like I have a group around me with the people, so we can just hang out. We're going camping very frequently
Well, okay.
in the desert. We could go, and I'm living in Jeddah, which is by the ocean, so it's famous for scuba diving as well. But I'm not doing scuba diving, but I can do snorkeling. So we're going for boat trips. So just, yeah, we can do a lot of things.
Okay.
Mostly in the desert, like hiking. We do hiking a lot. They have beautiful mountains in Saudi Arabia. I didn't know that, so I'm surprised this place. Yeah, so. And now it's Ramadan, so which means they were gonna do fasting during the day. So after the fasting, they just break the fast, and the shops are open until 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's huge gathering all the time during the night. It's also a great experience. Yeah.
Oh, great. That's great.
Yeah.
So how long do you plan to be there?
I'm gonna stay until September. I want to finish 3 years.
3
That
years,
was
okay.
because you started working, you sign a contract for 2 years. So you want to accomplish 2 years usually, but some of nurses, they cannot handle this, so they will leave. But then you really feel comfortable, and you just I just want to stay one more year. So yeah, 3 years, and
3 years.
I'll take a break. Yeah.
Well, tell us about the hospital. Tell us about the ICU. Is it like all ICUs? Like, are there unique things about being a critical care nurse in Saudi Arabia?
Oh yeah, so this hospital is like 400 beds, which is not huge, but it's not small. They do have a magnet accreditation, JCI, so they just like have this US standards.
Okay.
Which is good. So the care is pretty good, I would say. So working on ICU, medical surgical ICU. So we have like 18 beds of ICU critical. And then we have another CSICU, surgical ICUs. And most of this hospital is like most oriented on medical. We don't have trauma center or something like that. We do have emergency department, but usually it's like medical issues. And well, ICU, always ICU. It's stressful work, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and the patient ratio is pretty good. I'm handling only one patient.
Okay.
Which is nice. And usually like we've been the unit we've been handling COVID patients. So we are that kind of unit with the respiratory failure, cardiac failure.
Okay.
With this, all the shocks and yeah, so it's quite tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how has COVID impacted your work?
Well, so COVID started in Saudi Arabia last year, like April this time. And it's still, still we are in pandemic, but I must say the numbers here are not that high. So now currently we don't have ICU COVID patients. So for me, it ended like September, maybe. September 2020. So I think they did a great job because we even were able to train another nurses, ICU nurses. So now we have like a second department. If something happened again, it won't be everything on our shoulders, which is such a release.
Yeah.
So during that time, we trained another nurses. And yeah, I've been time when we had all only like COVID patients. So the routine changed completely and was hard, of course. And just taking care of the patients and be with the full gear, all 12-hour shift. So we couldn't take a proper break after, like, we had like mandatory breaks after 4 and 5 hours because we did not have supplies for like always. So it was difficult to change all the routine of drinking and eating and taking care.
Right. But did you have the kinds of conditions that we saw in places in like Italy or New York, where we had just, you're just overflowing patients and you really couldn't fit them all in?
No, we did not have this. We were just almost full. But it never happened. It's because we were in the main hospital for COVID. So we just helped the other hospital to take care of that. But it's hospital here when really like this situation they had to handle, then it was really difficult. Sure. Yeah. But luckily we always had the place where we can put the patients.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you find that that Saudi people living in Saudi complied with the masks and the kind of the rules about the public health measures?
Oh, you mean like
outside,
general?
Just in daily life.
Oh yeah, and actually I must say again, they're doing great job because they just following the rules. They really respect the king Salman. They respect him, so they will listen.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I was surprised because I always thought it's gonna be mess here, when pandemic started, and oh my gosh, should I leave? Should I really like go home? But I decided to stay, and yeah, they really focusing on it. They wearing mask. Even I can see one person in a car and he's wearing a mask.
Okay.
So it's really it's different because I went for holidays back home and it's just a mess, Czech Republic with the pandemic, and then you can see the difference here.
Yeah.
Really like the people, even when I just got to the plane and just like everybody who went back to Saudi, they just wipe the seats and wear the proper mask. I was like, okay, they're just following the rules. Really, like,
follow the rules.
Surprised. Yeah.
Well, the cultures that are very rule compliant, there's pluses and minuses, right? So
yeah,
in a pandemic, it's very good. Yes.
Yeah.
So
but still,
the Western
Saudi Arabia.
have a lot of, free spirits. You're like, I'm just going to do what I
Yes,
want. Right.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I know. Well, you mentioned that just so let me tell anybody who is watching that I kind of went through a phase where I started just reaching out to people on LinkedIn, and I said, I don't know who needs this book, but I'm giving it to nurses, and so I hope it gets in the right hands. And so you got my book, Career Clarity for Nurses, that way, and you read it apparently.
Yes, I was so excited. Really, it was wow, great gift.
So tell me what what helped you about it. What was helpful to you?
Oh, I was like, this is like a therapy for me, this book, because finally, like, somebody put the label of everything what I'm feeling. So it was so great. It's like I trying to do reflection on myself always, but with the book, it's way much easier. And really, like, I feel like, wow, it's like I'm not here alone. Like people really like have the same emotions, they dealing with the same things. And I really felt like, wow, we are like a group, we need to support each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's something that I really emphasize, is that there's so many. Well, nurses are so looked up to by the general public, but sometimes when they're in nursing, just the dynamics within a nursing unit themselves, they're not very kind to each other. And so, and because they're kind of so stressed, and so everybody wants to do the right thing. Anyway, oftentimes nursing units are not the most supportive places to be. So you found that helped you then. So what changed for you in terms of, did you go out of your way more to be more supportive to your colleagues?
I mean, I maybe more understand my colleagues now, because everybody have to deal with their lives, but everybody has problems. So I understand more, like, I'm really trying my emotions, maybe like be a little bit like, take a deep breath before I will say anything. More like trying to working on myself in this field.
Yeah, that's what was one of the points of the book, is to help people to understand the dynamics of stress, and help everybody sort of understand how stress operates in their body, and and to know when to kind of take a break, and kind of step back and say, well, what am I feeling? What am I doing? And to make a better choice, perhaps, and how you respond. So was there anything else about the book that you remember that was helpful to you?
Also, you mentioned a lot of like about the management, how like I always like when you put the example. So I was like, oh yes, sometimes even the charge nurse, it's not like, how it should be. So also understanding this like management things, like this type.
Okay, good. Do you feel like you could understand your manager a little better, and deal with him or her better?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they do such a stressful job as well, like even more than I think us as a bedside nurses, and they really need to deal with a lot of things we cannot see, but sometimes you feel like, oh, sometimes you want to be selfish and get what you want, but yeah.
I think that's universal.
Yeah.
Universal in healthcare, for sure. Well, I'm really glad that it landed in. I'm really glad that, as I was, just spreading this, I was like, you want this? Read it, because I just wanted to get into people's hands. So I'm glad to hear that it got in your hands and it was helpful. So I'm sure that there are people who will be watching this who are interested in being an international nurse. what are there organizations that, because I've been a travel nurse in the United States, but I didn't really ever explore international nursing. So where do you find those ads? If someone was interested, would they Google international nursing assignments? Would they Google the country like Saudi Arabia, or maybe you could tell us the countries that are looking for international nurses? Just tell us a little bit more. First, you were advising someone who was interested in doing that. What would you say?
Oh yeah, it was like I think during high school already they just this Saudi Arabia always like offering because they love Czech nurses.
Okay.
So it was really easy for me to approach and find the agency. But yeah, it's always great. I think I'm never gonna regret this opportunity. It was such a, if somebody want to go, just do it, because it's you will grow as a person and you will grow as a professional as well so much, because you have to handle so many stressful situations as an international nurse. And yeah, this is one of the things. Just do it.
Yeah. And you have friends now, colleagues from many countries, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yes, exactly. It's just you really find the way how you can survive here. You just, beginning is really, really difficult. And Saudi Arabia, really, they just offering like higher salary without taxes, more vacation. So when I'm talking to my friends, this is the reason why we want to go. We are young, we want to explore, we want to travel and expect community. It's so like, we are like really family. It's like, it's really great. It's really great. I got COVID even here. I was sick, and everybody at home, they were like, oh, you must be exhausted and sad. I was like, I have people really around me who will support you. So even here, you can survive even a pandemic in completely different country, even if you're sick. And I feel supportive. Like even if somebody, even from the hospital, I always felt like supportive. You can always go and speak with somebody, even from the management. So yeah, but also like I think it's certain amount of time you can spend here and then just move on. Right. Because otherwise you will stuck.
Yeah, it's a good. So what do you think you'll do next after September?
I will take a break. I will take a break. It's like I always say, like, I accomplished as a bedside as an ICU 5 years, and then we'll see how I will feel. So after this, I will take several months break, and we'll see how I feel. And the 5 years I got, like, for me, it's like I don't want to burn out as an ICU nurse as well. So we'll see how I will feel after this time, because it's, I don't want to burn out.
Yeah, no, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah.
So do you think you'll travel to, you think during that break you'll do traveling, or you think you'll go home, or?
Yeah, I will go home. I will travel a little bit if it's gonna be possible, of course. Right. Like, we'll see how the situation will be, and if no traveling, I will sort it out. What will just pop up in my mind.
Right. It's I mean, that's just the way the world is now. It's like it's hard to make plans. We're just all waiting for things to be better, and so we can all kind of get back to life the way we know it. So anyway, well, Karolina, if there's somebody who wants to maybe email you, would you mind giving your email address, and if they wanted to ask you about international nursing?
Oh yeah, no problem. Yes, of course, anytime.
Okay, can you get a pencil and paper, everyone, and she'll spell out her email address for you, especially the last name.
Yeah. I will give the second email, which is SVOBODOVA svok16 on gmail.com.
Okay, okay, and say that one more time.
svobodovak16
At
gmail.com.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Karolina. Is there anything else you feel like you want to tell us about nursing in Saudi Arabia or living in Saudi Arabia or international nursing? You feel like you've covered it, or is there anything else you want to get in there?
Just come here.
Come here, okay. And your city, you're in Riyadh, you say? That's your city?
No, I'm Jeddah. I'm
You're
in
Jeddah,
the
okay.
Red Sea, by the Red Sea, yeah.
By the Red Sea,
It's beautiful. Okay. It's like, it's a smaller city, but still it's big. And
okay.
the life is here is a little bit mellow than Riyadh, just enjoying the sea on the days off.
Right, right. Beach town.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you again so much for the generosity of your time. And I hope that nurses who are watching and have a little curiosity about international nursing, maybe even going to the Middle East, that you'll take these words to heart and have your own nursing adventure. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Okay, bye-bye now. Thanks.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you.